Hello and welcome back to the GameStar Season 2 qualifiers for ANZ Heroes of the Storm. We're into Week 4, Round 4 game between Nomia and the Concurlings, and we're on Towers of Doom. Alrighty, so we have the first ban going out on the side of Nomia. It's going to be the Dahaka, not wanting to allow any kind of global pressure. We'll have to see where the Concurlings go with their first ban. Nomia have been going pretty much from strength to strength throughout the entire season, cleaning up most of their competition, and they're not really looking like stopping. It looks like they could even afford to take the foot off the accelerator just a little bit, maybe hide a few strats as we head even closer to the finals towards the end of the month. But we'll have to see just how hard they want to push their opponents. On the other side, we have the Concurlings, who bit of a newer team, a bit of a mismatch of different skill levels, and we'll have to see how they end up matching up against Nomia, who, well, it's going to be a bit of an uphill battle for them, but we'll have to see how they handle it. It is going to be the Zero Tools, so they do know that Ben, also known as Fat94, is very capable at that hero, and they don't want to allow him to have that. But at what cost? What do they give up as the first pick? There's quite a few options when it comes to Towers of Doom. We'll have to see what they go with. Earlier in the night, they did end up going with the Probius. We'll have to see if this is going to be another map that they might try and sort out some kind of strategy similar to that. But it's actually going to be the Chromie on the side of Nomia right off the bat. So really, locking that damage very early on could be very risky. We'll have to see how the Concurlings do react to that, whether or not they want to go for a very, very dive-heavy composition, or if they want to at least find some way of mitigating it within the draft. Maybe pick up the Nubarak or some other kind of magic armor hero, but we'll have to see how they go. And it is actually going to be the Nubarak right away, and they also pick up the Valor, so that's one part of their damage deal is sorted out right at the start. We'll have to see how we do react to that, because it's not a very... It doesn't give too much away by going for the Valor and the Nubarak. Still, both are very solid picks and can be quite versatile when it comes to a draft. But we'll have to see how it ends up shaping their composition as we get later into the draft. We are into the next bands for, or the next picks for Nomia, and they are going to pick up the Arthas. A very comfortable pick for the side of Nomia. They could even flex it between Fat94 or Robodoba, both being quite capable at that hero. And it's also going to be the Tyrande, so not a pick that we're used to seeing too often, but have started to see her a little bit here and there over the past month. It's starting to get a bit of play. It can work quite well when it comes to pick compositions, and they can really set up some very high damage combos. And the members of the Concurlings will have to be quite careful with their positioning. If they do end up getting caught out, they could go down really quickly with that composition from the composition that Nomia has put together so far. We are now getting into the second round of bans. We'll have to see where Concurlings go with this one. I'm not sure if they want to take away the damage dealer. They will take away the fast zone, so not wanting to allow that global pressure from Nomia to go through. It's actually going to be the Tassadar banned away on the side of Nomia, not wanting to allow the Tassadar Valor combination to go through. A very powerful combination. And I guess if any team is going to know the strength of it, but also the weaknesses of such a combination, it will be Nomia. They have played it so very well in the past, and not wanting to allow any team to have it for themselves. Alright, so getting into the next round of picks, the Concurlings still have their support to pick up. Could very well just default back to the Malfurion, who is still probably one of the strongest supports in the game. But there's also things like the Lucio, which can be very useful on a map like Towers of Doom, where there are quite a few walls to allow him to be very versatile and very mobile around the map. There's also thoughts of what other secondary damage dealer they'll be putting forward, or whether or not they want to just go all in on a very tank-heavy composition. It is going to be the Artanis and the Oriole, so even though they don't have the Tassadar to go with the Valor, they do have the Oriole to help out with her, to help her be quite aggressive in a playstyle, and very much supplement that kind of playstyle, allow her to play forward, and using that aggression to feed into the Hope engine for Oriole to allow her to heal quite a fair bit. And the Artanis can be quite aggressive and can be quite annoying to deal with. It can also be quite a playmaker with the Phase Prism. I have to see if those long-range swaps will be coming into play as we get later into this, or even at the very start of the game. Just can be very impactful if used at the right time, at the right place. I have to see how Nomia plays around it, because the Artanis can be... He can come out of nowhere, really, but it's actually going to be the Asmodan coming out of Nomia. I feel like they're trying out something special here. I'll just see what they finish this off with. It's going to be the Ragnar, so I'm not too sure what to think of this composition. Nomia, I think, are very comfortable regardless of what they pick. And I think, considering the way that they've played over the past month, they have every right to be very comfortable with their play. Now on to the last pick for the Concurlings. We'll probably see another damage dealer, maybe a mage, to mix up some of the damage spread that they have. Like going into the Arthas, you don't necessarily want to have a whole lot of auto attack damage, because he can just sustain through a lot of that and be quite fine, and it can frontline quite well. So just see what they end up going with. There's still the Greymane, there's things like the Tracer that can be very annoying, there's the Rainer that we saw earlier tonight. But we'll have to see what they end up going with. It's actually going to be the Li-Ming. Actually, I was just pointing out more auto attack heroes. That was completely mind blank, but yes, a mage is very much welcomed when you are going up against an Arthas, and the Li-Ming is going to do quite well. Always does. It's quite a somewhat standard composition. I mean, the Artanis is not as popular as he was earlier in the year. The Oriole can be a bit iffy and requires a specific playstyle from your allies to actually get the most value, but it's probably more of a standard composition on the side of the Concurlings than what we're seeing from Nomia. I think I can be quite safe in assuming that. They have some strong picks with the Ragnaros, the Arthas, and the Chromie, but how this is all going to work together, I'm not entirely sure. Maybe they're just going to go split all day, every day, and just be a real nuisance. I don't know. It's going to be a weird one. We're going to have to just wait and see how it plays out. Alrighty. We are into Towers of Doom, and on the blue side we have Nomia. We have Fat94 on the Asmodan, we have Robodoba on the Arthas, John on the Chromie, Arcana on Ragnaros, and Vanilla is on the Tyrande. And on the red side we have the Concurlings. We have Renovatio on the Artanis, Kipjib on the Valor, J Muffin on the Oriole, we have Nar56 on the Unubarak, and we have Alistaro on the Li-Ming.
Let the battle begin.
Okay. Talents. I'm not entirely sure what this composition of Nomia is supposed to do, or whether or not it's just we want to play these things because we just want to have fun. Because at this point I feel as though they're already locked into the ANZ finals later this month. They're quite free to be a little bit more free with some of their players. One, they're pushing out a fair bit, and they're able to get a decent amount of stacks for the Asmodan already. Yes, he's going for the Sieging Wrath, not the Taste for Blood, so he'll be getting increased damage on his Globe of Annihilation when he hits heroes, not the one that gets stronger every time he kills minions, so wanting to stack that up very quickly, and it'll be a bit of a nuisance that as we get later in the game. as we do get a nice hit onto Alstero, but it's just going to be trading back and forward. But even though not much has happened in the game so far, we're getting a very minor experience lead over to the side of Nomia. This is going to be very heavy pushing on the side of Nomia in the middle lane, not allowing any of those other Concurlings to get much pressure in the lane, as we do have an attempt at a gank coming out on the top side of the map. Arcana is just going to walk straight through and move towards the bottom of the lane, and they're just going to let him walk away. Guess not too worried about letting him walk away from that one. Just apply pressure elsewhere on the lane. We do start to see the ultras activating. We'll start to see some kind of map play. We'll have to see how the Concurlings do react to this around the map. They do have 2 on the top side, 2 in the middle, and 1 on the bottom, as Ranvasho is going to get locked down, and that is going to be the first kill going over to Nomia. It's stepping a little bit too far forward, and the Artanis does not have a good escape path. He is good at getting into fights, but not necessarily getting out of them. Robodova is starting to get aggressive onto J Muffin, who does get locked down. They're trying to finish him off. He doesn't have the healing to keep himself sustained. And that is going to be a kill going over to Nomia. They're trying to get another one on the bottom, on the other side, as Kipjib is trying to at least delay this tower from being taken, but he's going to fall as well. That's going to be another kill going over to Nomia. They did not secure the bottom one, as that was taken by the Concurlings, but they're going to be very aggressive. It looks like they're trying to take down the top one, as Vanilla is going to end up falling. That's a Tyrande down, but that's at what cost? So many members falling on the side of the Concurlings, and I'm not sure if they just want to keep on putting their face in it, but they just keep on losing members. And again, it's just going to be more advantages going over to Nomia. They're just going to keep on applying the pressure. They have a 1-level lead and have already put themselves in a very strong position. To see how the Concurlings try and come back from this. Kipjib is trying to move himself forward, trying to apply a bit of pressure, be more aggressive, but he's just going to take so much damage from the Chromie. He's going to be forced back. Does get healed out by the Oriole, but still, that is a lot of damage. Combo doing a lot of work and has to be forced back, but now it's just going to allow Nomia to apply a lot of pressure in the middle lane and take down the towers, and just going to be extending the experience lead that they already have. Already 14 stacks coming out from the Asmodan. It's already doing a decent amount of damage and is very annoying to deal with. Although, on the side of the Concurlings, they are making some good plays around the map. They have taken the bottom camp, and it looks like they're going to start working on this one on the top side. So, very nice play coming after them, as they do get a nice swap in onto that, but the rest of the team is already there. It looks like they're trying to tunnel onto the Asmodan a little bit too much. There's going to be 2 members going down. Both the tanks fall. The Nubrak and the Artanis is a little bit of an over-aggression. It looks like they try to make a play, but wasn't too aware of where the rest of the side of Nomia was, and end up getting picked off for it. So a nice little turnaround there for Nomia. Looks like they're trying to get in onto the Oriole. Takes a fair bit of damage, but gets turned around a fair bit thanks to the towers and Kitchen on the Valid, turning a fair bit and forcing away Vanilla and Robodova. They want to keep on pushing on the top side of the map. Probably aiming to try and force them away, but they get too much done. It's going to be a nice Globe of Annihilation, taking them down a little bit, but the healing coming out from... Actually, that's a decent amount of damage. That should force them back to base, as they don't have enough healing coming out from the Oriole just yet. As a nice lockdown coming in on the top side, on the bottom side, on the mid side, actually, as on the top, Lemming did fall to a Globe of Annihilation from downtown. Robodova is able to sustain through the fight, and they are going to be able to take down the Artanis, and they're just going to keep on pushing. Looks like they're going to be able to get this tower pretty much for free. They do have the Valor going down to try and contest it, but the way the match is going, it's going to be very hard to believe that they're going to have much more presence in these, or around this side of the map, as the rest of the members of Nomia will be coming out shortly to help out with the fight. They're taking a shot from the Asmodan, and here comes the cavalry trying to walk themselves away. J-Muffin walked a little bit too far. He's going to get locked down for days. He is going to fall, and now the rest of the fight is going to continue with the support down on the side of Concurlings. The Starfall does come out. Here comes the Syndra Ghost, so they're just going to keep on pushing in. The Artanis a little bit too far forward, and the rest of the members of the Concurlings are just going to have to back away. They've already taken too much damage. They can't afford to stick around, as the Valor did end up falling. Arcana coming in from the top side. Nice flank manages to finish them off, and they're going to try and at least take this bell tower before they even need to take this tower, I guess. They have all the time in the world. They're not really at a risk of it being taken from them, so they are very comfortable in just pretty much just slow playing this, taking as much as they can, making the most of their advantages. But in the middle lane, we do have members of the Concurlings trying to finish off this bell tower, but it does get stalled out thanks to not core. They do end up taking the bottom one, and it looks like they're trying to take down the Artanis. He's taking a lot of damage. The Tirana does fall on the bottom side of the map. It does get taken down by Alistara, but in the end, it's just going to be a trade around the map. Arcana takes down the Artanis, and in the end, they are still not going to be taking that tower on the bottom side. They're going to keep on being just a nuisance and really push the advantage as much as they can. As we see, the Lemon get taken down by John on the a lot of damage. Very hard for them to actually deal with it. They do end up stealing away that bell tower just before they can finish him off, but Temporal Loop combination comes out, and there goes the Valor. Very hard to deal with when you don't have a cleanse, or at least some kind of way to mitigate that combination. And if they were level 10, maybe there was the Crystal Aegis to help out with that from the Oriole, but they don't have that yet, and now they're moving very far forward. Here comes a single Ghost to lock them down. The Starfall is used as well. J Muffin is going to get locked down first. He doesn't have level 10, so he cannot use the Crystal Aegis to help himself out. And Avasha is going to be the next target. He does fall before he gets behind the wall, and that is going to be a nice 2 kills going down. They tried to turn that bell tower back over, but they ended up just extending and getting taken out for it. We do have the members of Nomia still pushing forward. The Cocoon gets used as they do finally hit level 10. It looks like they're trying to push very far forward, as Miller is going to take a lot of damage from the strafe, but he's just going to back away as a lot of damage coming out from the Chromie. Looks like they're almost being able to take him down. The Global Annihilation does finish them off. That's another kill going over to Nomia, and they're just going to keep on applying pressure. Meanwhile, in the middle lane, Arcana on the Ragnaros is going to be pushing this bell tower down. They're just not in a beat. It's just very hard for the Concurlings to actually get back in this game. Looks like they're trying to get in onto the bell tower, but it's very hard for them to do so with 4 members here on the side of Nomia still just pressing them away. It's really hard for the Concurlings to actually mount any kind of defense. It's like Vanilla is just going to be running it in, trying to be a bit of a bait, manages to take out the Li Ming, and looks like he's going to be able to run himself back to safety as the rest of the team does help out. Renavashi is going to be the next target. They do manage to lock him down. The Crystal Aegis does get used, but it's not going to be enough. He's going to get locked down. Meanwhile, on the top side, the Valor does get taken down thanks to the Molten Core coming out of Arcana, and that is going to be another few kills going over to the side of Nomia, and they're just going to be able to keep on pushing. 2 more altars are going to be activated very soon, and with the amount of shots on the side of Nomia available, they do have 6 per tower. This could very well be a very quick game for the side of Nomia. They're just going to keep on pushing. Another Global Annihilation drops them up and quite low. It's going to be, they're just going to be very free to play quite aggressive with their positioning, even though they're really all that safe. As a nice swap comes in from Renavarsho, he is going to end up taking down the Asmodan, but that's pretty much it. They're not able to get too many advantages out of it, as here comes the Syndra. Gosa does cut off their escape path, and looks like they're trying to turn the fight around. Leeming goes down, there goes Inubarak. The Artanis is trying to take down Vanilla, but he is just going to get swapped away from danger as the Artanis does fall. That's another 3 kills going over to the side of Nomia. And throughout all of this, we have Kipjib trying to stall for time, trying to at least take one of the towers to delay the inevitable, I guess, as Arcane is going to run him down with the level lead, a 4-level lead at this point. It's going to be very hard as the Valley gets taken by an owl and a single tower shot. So very nice on the side of Nomia. They're just going to be able to pick up kill after kill, tower after tower, and they're going to be able to drop these towers very low. Alistar trying to clear out these minion waves, but with Doba just playing very aggressive, he is going to be very safe. Not too worried about the damage coming out from these 2 members on the side of the Concurlings. The Owl support from the bottom side is going to help out. The Globe of Annihilation is going to help out as well. Vanilla going to be sprinting through the towers, through the death zone to help out his team. Robodoba is going to manage to stay alive in these fights. Here comes the Sulfurious Smash, does end up finishing him off. That is going to be the ace to Nomia, and they have all the towers on the map, and this should very much spell the end of the game. It's going to be very hard for the members of the Concurlings to actually get back and try and take away one of these bell towers. So as all of them are going to be held, it is just going to be shot after shot every few seconds. until the core ends up dying. They're just going to... All it requires is for Nomia to hold on to this last bell tower, or this lowest of the bell towers. This should end up being it. The Molten Core is even going to be invested to help finish this off. They're trying to take down some of the members. They do get a nice front swing onto Renovaccio. They don't have much in the way of mounting on the comeback. The Cinderghost does get popped. They do manage to take down the Li Ming, even though she was in her base, and that should very well do it. GG to Nomia in a very convincing fashion.